Howdy everyone, I'm Michael Roberts quite far away, and also I didn't get over to this. Hello. Oh, I'm also stuck. Hey, we did it. How's it going, everyone? Hope everyone's alright. Today is Thursday. You know what that means? Time for me to encroach into chat with my big ol' head. Turn that down a little bit. Why is that quite my end now? I have no idea what's going on. Very weird. Thank you for all the follows and wave your bot for the subscribing over on Twitch. Hello. Words. Words are hard. I'm a good streamer. Words are hard. How's it going? Brain dead. I've been building Gunpless since 5 hours. Damn. What Gunpla are you building? What's coming with see you at the LGT? Yeah, sure. Come up to me. Like if I'm in a game, you know, you can kind of say hi, and then obviously I'll be like, yeah, I'll chat to you afterwards. But if I'm around, yeah, come and say hello. Had one hell of a driving lesson. I can not drive off an incline. Oh, a hill start. Yeah, it's not too bad. You just got to get that. Got to get the clutch in there. Assuming you are driving a manual, I guess. But yeah, hello. Hope everyone's doing well. Today is just going to be a yapping one. It's going to be a yapper. I'm just going to chat. And it's all about... just yapping away about stuff. Because there's the London GTs coming up. Magnus, the Pious, or Red. Thank you for following. And Buckets Dealer as well. And Hammond and Diggle and Mr. Trollmo. What do you think about the new Black Templars Codex? I don't really know much about the Black Templars Codex. I think it's alright. I actually really don't. I don't really know much about it. New Gunpla went on... I don't know, soon, I think. Not super soon. Soon enough. Finish 5,000 points of Iron Warriors. I have so much glue. I can hear colours. You shouldn't be inhaling the glue. That's generally not the way you use it. So my first game of AOS, my save target got beaten badly round 3. I lost, and I didn't even kill a single unit of trees. That's unfortunate. Did you enjoy it though? Age of Sigmar was fun. At least a little bit I've played of it. It's quite fun. It's Dragons with the 7 months.
So can we play wordplay this stream? Also 7 months.
Thank you for the 7 months. I'm not going to play wordplay this stream. I think I might have installed it, to be honest. But there's nothing stopping you from playing wordplay this stream. It is a game that exists. You can play. Yes. Have you thought any more about your chapter master? A little bit, yeah. I had a bit more thought about that and a bit more thought about some other units. Again, it's one of those projects that I'm kind of thinking about in the background, just slowly, you know, getting through it. I need to actually make some video about it at some point. But I've got a lot of, like, my next maybe 4 or 5 videos are basically sorted. And obviously London GT coming up. I need to plan for that. I'm going to the commentary GT. I'm not going to commentary now. I don't think I am. I might be. I don't think I am, though. Maybe? I don't know. What was your most expensive single purchase? Probably one of the bigger boxes, like the big starter boxes for like Skaven Tide, they're pretty expensive. That's probably the most expensive thing. That's the upcoming Kill Team box. Is that the Necron one? Yeah, I've got a couple of friends who are getting that, yeah. But you know, not kill even a single unit. Yeah, trees are quite elite though, right? If I recall. I mean, I played my one game of Age of Sigmar that wasn't Spearhead. It was very frustrating not being able to roll a single die higher than a 3 when you play a army, an army, I suppose. When you play an army like Gits, where all of the squigs have to roll a d6 for their movement and want to be charging. So that's annoying. What was this last tournament? What improvements being made to the background? The background under construction. So I moved my desk around, or I got myself another desk. So technically, like that background isn't true anymore. So I need to recreate it, and I haven't done it yet, which is why it's under construction. But what'll happen is, because the way my screen is now, there'll be like a TV in the background. I can put stuff on the TV. Didn't like through OBS, not actually on the TV. And last tournament was it was the Winchester, one of the Winchester RTTs, which I try and get to. Always have GTs, but I have no idea what they are. Are they official GW tours? It's not official. They're just it's just called grand tournaments. I think the way it works is essentially a grand tournament has to have a certain, like, an X amount of people and X amount of games. So I think it's got to be at least over 50 people and has to be at least 5 games. I think makes it a grand tournament, because there's like a super major, which is slightly different. But I don't know. It basically is just a big tournament, not officially GW. Hey, Fritters, how's it going? What would we call this? Paul is bad at yapping. I mean, stuff. Yapping is stuff. So, I guess Paul is bad at... Yeah, I don't know. Any new units to Ravens? So yeah, we'll wait till, you know, the 7 o'clock. But yeah, we'll talk about my list and what I want to change. And I was hoping that the balanced states would be out, because I kind of want to be able to use the... I should be able to use the new... I don't think the list... I have to get my list submitted by a week on Sunday, I believe. And I want to be able to use the new Raven Guard detachment, and I'd like to be able to use Athan Shan, but the problem is I might not have Athan Shan, so I might not be able to. So we'll see. I might have to not risk it, but Athan Shan seems awesome, so I kind of want it. GW State Sanctuary State into Legends. Will you rename it yourself to Paul is good at stuff? No, I mean, Paul is Vindicator will be the upgraded name, I suppose. I played 2,000 point games of Warhammer with a buddy. Now we're looking at playing Crusade. You were kidding. These rules are a lot of fun. Yeah. Crusade rules are interesting. There's some really cool stuff in there. There's purple painted Orc commanders to Ravens. That's very sneaky, yes. Very sneaky, yes, indeed. Is Germany? Greetings from here. Someone is about to re-enter 40k. I'm currently building my Space Marines with Iron Hands. Oh, hell yeah. Bonjour, hello. Like a tournament with a fantasy novel. Yeah, grand tournament. There's the RTT. What that stands for? Rogue Trader Tournament. It's a really archaic like naming convention. I don't know why. Right now, you're playing 1K Space Wolves versus Sisters. Are you winning? Are you winning, son? Love you videos to defeat my addiction. I need a new one. I'd love to hear about your tournaments. Yes, I will be making a video about this tournament.
Paul, you do know that Zangers are ravens? Burbs.
Are they though? I don't think Zangers are ravens because they're not corvid. Not corvid enough. They're more like parrots. Thought about that. I actually played against some Zangors and I killed them. And then I lost to that person. So, you know, swings and roundabouts. Converting a Wolfguard battle leader to a custom Ragnar. Hell yeah. Have you ever considered that stuff is bad at Paul? That is very true. It's not me that's wrong. It's everyone else. Look forward to hearing the harebrained scheme planning out a conversion for your traitor Zechian Blood Angel Demon Prince. Ooh, that's fancy. 70% of the board is mine T1. Oof. I'm going to play. Thank you, Sunshiny Rays. Any opinion on the AOS 14 new I haven't seen it. I haven't been keeping up with AOS, unfortunately. Which is a shame. Because AOS is cool. I think I need to try and make the effort to sort it out, but Nobody hasn't tried to join without ignoring college scores. Yeah, stay in school, kids. You might end up being a YouTuber, and you know, oof, awful. They're just the best intended way to play Warhammer. Bad factions like AdMech make sense when they play with the Crusade rules. Here's the thing, I played against AdMech and lost, because AdMech actually, in the hands of the right people, very, very good. Crusade, I think, has some issues. I do have some issues, but not many. I think it is a fun system. I'm 21 and want to be a YouTuber. Oh, I wouldn't count on that. I do get it. You want to be like the, because I don't like being a YouTuber. I want to be a YouTuber, but it's one of those ones where it's like the idea. You see the YouTubers that are super, super popular and stuff, but there's the 99% of others which are just flying by the seat of my pants, right? I'm waiting for 2 shards. Going to convert one to jump pack Chaos Lord. Ooh, that's awesome, Amada. Yeah, I hope I get shot. I pre-ordered it. I also pre-ordered the dice. If it arrives in time and I can paint it and build it and paint it in time for the GP, I will. But I have to submit the list before I know if I have the model, I think. So, Omniscience, thanks for 3 months.
Which side of Knights would you pick to play?
Chaos. Although I do want a Knight for my Scream Romans at some point. The very least I want to make videos hobby. That's the better way to do it. That's kind of how I started, right? And if it works, it works. You make something cool and people attach. Like, the thing is, I was never intended to go full time until my hand was forced, and it kind of got forced at the right time. So making videos as a hobby is great fun. So, and even like it's something ridiculous like Purgatory. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Hell yeah.
Here is a 140 the price for your next Centurion.
Hell yeah.
Kissing face emoji.
And a subscription over on Twitch as well. Can't wait for GW to update Centurion's next day. Shoot, I took 32. If it were that good, everyone would do it. It would be very funny.
Afternoon from Pittsburgh.
Hello.
Hope the day is treating everyone well.
It's treating me well, thank you very much. No toughness thing is interesting, but I think I prefer have it. Yeah, toughness, lack of toughness in Age of... it makes sense. I kind of like it. It is a bit weird. I think because a lot of it's melee, right? Any opinions on Predator tanks? They're okay. I don't have too much of an opinion on them. The biggest hurdle of YouTube seems to be the proxy of getting 0 to 10 views to keep on to 7. Yeah, that is one thing, but I do think if like it's gone that long and you're getting no views and something needs to change, right? Like you can change it, but the other thing to bear in mind, there's a stat which is like if you have 100 subscribers, you're like the top 5%. It's ridiculous. Thoughts on new Sandman stuff like Heaston? The new... I looked at it recently. I like the idea for Infernus to be able to do actions and stuff. That's really cool. Infernus has seemed pretty cool with all that stats you can do. Favorite Xenos faction? Drukhari's probably. Although, yeah. I kind of like all of the Xenos factions, to be honest. Procrastinating how the last 2 Blood Bowl models need to get done first. Yeah, procrastination sucks. Thoughts on that rough 1,000-point list? Imperial Fist Combat Patrol, Ferus, Redemptive Ballistus. That sounds... 1,000 points with... Yeah, that sounds alright. With 2 Dreadnoughts in 1,000 points, that's going to be quite good. In terms of, like, being able to not be killed. What do you think of the new Drukhari lady? I think... Oh, the new Drukhari looks cool. And the new Archon looks cool. If you want to get into Drukhari, the box they're doing for their release is really good. Because you get Witches, Cabalites, Scourges, Incubi, and a Venom. The new Combat Patrol is not as good as the old one, but it would basically be the only way they can make one as good as the old one is to just release exactly the same one. Because the original one is ridiculous. It's just obscenely good. The new one is good though. Like, paint engines are great. Paint engines are great. And especially if you get that new box with some of the rack stuff. The problem is I basically have all of that stuff, so I don't need to buy them, which is, I guess it's actually good. There are new Raven Guard dice here. I don't know if they'll still be available, but hopefully that'll be arriving. Why are you so slow and bad at painting? You're probably not that slow, and you're probably not that bad at painting. I guess it depends who you compare yourself to. I have a video coming out at some point that I've kind of prepped for about painting quickly and about the, it depends what you want to do with it, right? Jesus Cop best Xenos. Jesus Cop's cool. I do like Jesus Cops. If you were held against your will to play Imperial Guard, you put any part of the guard, what would you play? I think I answered this in the Q&A. And it would be, I'd just play a load of Basilisks. Experience with Kill Team. I don't have much experience with Kill Team, to be honest. I played the second edition, a few games of that. It's really cool, but I haven't played much any third. I had an idea. I might speak to the Orchid 8 guys about this, but I want to make the worst dice in the world. Now, do you remember Kill Team 2? They had shapes for the... I'm muted, thank you for the...
If they made rules for Korax at the end of 10th ed, what rules do you want him to have, and how would you make him distinct from Sun or Shrike?
They made rules for Korax at the end of 10th. What rules we want to have, and how would you make them distinct from Shan or Shrike? Ooh, that's a tough question. I actually don't know. I'll think about that one. Let me think about the... Think that for a moment. I was making a previous point. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, the awful dice. They had those shapes, but they were terrible because triangle was 1, circle was 2, square was 3, and pentagon was 6. I don't know why it wasn't hexagon, triangle, square, circle, or anything about rather than what they did. But a dice where the 1 is a triangle, the 2 is a circle, the 3 is a square, the 6 is a pentagon, and then like the 4 is a bird, and the 5 is, you know, just like the number 5. It's the only one that actually has a number on it. Would be hilarious. And like all the colors are different. They just look terrible. Symbols on the 1.6s. No, symbols on the 1s and 6s. Like the really bad sisters dice. So first game the other day, went first. Dread killed an intercessor. Lost it in my opponent's turn 1. The Dread killed an intercessor, then you lost the intercessor? Or lost the Dread? No. Why do you only run 80 Centurions, not 36? Because I don't have 36, first of all. Second of all, they're real... Like, 36 would basically be impossible to play. Lost the Dread turn 1. Yeah, you gotta be careful, like... Part of the game, right, is about trading. It's something I still am struggling to learn. But, haha, I brought my Centurions out to kill that thing. Ah, now they're in the open and they die, and now I've lost them. So you gotta, you know... Gotta play it cagey. Gotta get the points. Points mean prizes. We've seen Rogal Dawn deal 16 wounds to another Dawn in Overwatch. Oh yeah, I mean, at the tournament on Sunday, I overwatched with my Centurions and all 6 las cannons hit. 36 Centurions come out to 1940 points to last event. Yeah, the problem is you would literally be unable, like... I will play a game with them at some point, probably on like Tabletop Simulator or something, because 36 Centurions is a very funny list. Like, if I ever get enough, I would play it, but part of this is also trying to make a lot of Centurions work and actually be able to play the... You would not be able to play the game with 36 Centurions is the problem, right? You'd have... I guess you'd have to use a... you wouldn't be able to use Vanguard Spearhead at the very least. You'd have to use... I guess you'd have to use Gladius. Or something that gives advance and charge and advance and shoot. Like, something else. Maybe, say what would work. Maybe. Firestorm might work. Assault weapons, that's very good. Yeah, it'll be a tough one. I don't think it'll be impossible, but I think it'll be very tough. Oh, we don't had a nasty scuffle with a Scorpec Destroyer and lost. Oh, yeah. Careful of that. Destroyers are overrated. Get out of my house. Yeah, Rogal on Overwatches. I shot Mortarion with 12 Centurions several times in my last game of 40k. They didn't do a single unsaved wound over 3 rounds worth of shooting phase in Overwatch. Yeah, sometimes that happens. Conversely, I dropped down in front of 6 Catfron Breachers, I think. The ones that have the full hit rerolls with lethal hits, and their Overwatch is actually quite scary. And I took 3 wounds, so I didn't lose a single Centurion, then I deleted the entire squad and the character, which is like 500 points, so... How good can Overwatch from repulsor tanks get? Not great, I don't think. The reason Centurion Overwatch is good is because you get full hit rerolls if they're on an objective, or if they're over the moment. But basically, if they start on an objective, or they step onto the objective, and you Overwatch them, full hit rerolls. And if they're a big squad, which the thing I shot out was, you're getting a lot with Blast as well. Which is very cool. Teaching the game last few games I played. The one game I played without teaching was Tau vs Grey Knights. Only noteworthy thing was the Dread Knight failing a 6-inch shot twice. Yeah. I had my first round, my first charges in one of my games. I rolled a 4 and then a 3, which I CP rerolled into a 4, and I needed like 5s and 6s, which is very annoying. What faction could you most effectively just use one specific unit over and over again for your whole army? Probably like Genestealer cults. Just use nothing but like neophytes. would probably do okay. In fact, that's probably just a list of. But that's not really points, I suppose. I mean, knights, right? Just lots of knights. Knights work. Zangles doesn't work, unfortunately. As much as yelling Zangles at me won't change it. Zangles. The thing is, Zangles are good. You know what's better than Zangles? When you have 10 Scarab Occult Terminators that can get AP 4 bolters. Then it's scary. You think Scam will ever appear in 40k? I don't think officially, but loads of there's lots of options for kit bashing, right? Then Chef's Jordan murdered by MVP Hey Jazz again. Yeah. And the Zangle Shaman that was standing too close. But yeah, those Joseph Goodall was my opponent. I have a Thousand Suns army. The first time I've ever played against Thousand Suns was against Joe there, and really good game. AP6 Melter, very scary. There'll be more about this tomorrow in tomorrow's video. Tomorrow's video is kind of a weird. It's a new thing tomorrow. Not a new thing. Well, it is a new thing, but it's not like going to be a repeating thing. At least not. Not constantly repeating, if you know what I mean. But yeah, the spell stuff from the spell stuff from Thousand Suns is really cool. I really like it. I like the fact that you can roll a double and go, ooh, do I risk mortal wounds to get that third dice in? I like all the spells. I think they're cool. Yeah, so the way to get the AP6, obviously Melters have AP4 to begin with. And then there's a spell which is, it goes off on a 9, which makes everything plus 1 AP. If it goes off super, it's plus 2 AP. And then the Scarab Occults already have AP2 Melters, so that goes up to AP4. Oh, sorry, not Melters, Bolters. So AP4 Bolters with lethal hits, re-rolling, and then the Scarab Occults have -1 to wound. They're horrible. Horrible things. Could Sternguard Vets man be funny? I think some people have done Sternguard Vet stuff, right? With the Librarian detachment? I think you can do some funky stuff with that. Real, I'm reading their rules right now and building a list. Yeah, I do kind of want to play Thousand Suns. Because the Rubikai Phalanx is so cool. Let's go to 1 to 10. How much do you feel that Drukari will be 11th just his next big bad? I don't think so. I think it might be like Orcs or something. Yeah, there's not many armies I haven't played against yet. So let me try and find a list of armies. Level Cabal Chaos Detachment is really unique and allows me to customize a ton of characters. Cabal Chaos Detachment, which one's that? Might be going crazy. Love when a unit has the potential to drop super amount of damage. Demon Breath Melter, oh jeez, yeah. I did do 29 damage to his Mutalith Vortex Beast with just the Las Cannons, which was very funny. Why's that so big? Yeah, so I've played against Sisters, played against Custodies, played against Admech, played against Guard, played against Grey Knights. Imperial Agents isn't real. I haven't played up against Imperial Knights, but I've played against Chaos Knights. I've never played against Chaos Demons, actually. Never played against Emperor's Children. I've never played against Drukari. And I've never played against Tau. That's it. So, we've always played against everything at least once. Super Silver Jr., 6 months.
"6 months, and I forgot to get you a gift, sorry Paul."
How dare you. I'll totally play Tau, but man, they're too expensive. But you get so many models. You know, you get 9 models in a pack of 3 crisis suits. Because 6 of them are bloody drones, they're not real models. Fly out to Reno and fight my EC. I don't know why I was like, I don't know. I'm not thinking no. No. There are actually quite a lot of Emperor's Children players around me. I just haven't had a chance to play against them. I actually haven't played against. I guess I haven't played against Space Wolves specifically. But I've played against all the other ones. No, I haven't played against Deathwatch either. That's the other one I haven't played against. Yeah, Demon Breath Melters are horrible. They're really scary. I mean, the most egregious thing with that mod, with the what counts as a model, is the Eldar tokens. Now that's too cheeky. That's far too cheeky. We can't be having that. Yeah, I played against Custodians twice, I think. I've won one, lost one. They're interesting. LGT, I play Space Wolves 3 out of 5 games. I've never had... the most I've played of the same thing is 2 times. So I've played, like... I played Guard twice in a row. I played World Eaters twice at a tournament. I played Dark Angels twice at a tournament. I've never played the same thing 3 times, which is good. That's variety. I just like League of Legends, hate everything hits on 4s. But there's plenty of ways to up it, right? Obviously, it used to be you'd get it up there with grudge tokens, which is why it's 4s. But don't you do that with the new... I don't know what it is. The efficiency thing? Or the yield points? I don't know anymore. Ghost kills are big as War Dog, have similar base but cost as much as 2 War Dogs. But also, they are super stealthy. Have we considered that? Alright, thank you for joining us, Libra Robot. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Yeah, I think Emperor's Children do seem interesting. I reckon if I ever play against them, I would probably do not do great because they are a weird one. Doo-doo Bardas. Thank you for subscribing with Prime. Yeah, the most recent tournament that I played, I won the first game, lost the next 2. But I actually, like, my average points when I lose is, like, obviously I've had some real outliers, but it's around 40 or 50 points. But both of my losses were, like, high 60s, low 70s. So I actually did quite well. I actually felt like I did okay, even in the losses. I definitely know what I need to do to improve. I still lose too many things. But my new list that hasn't got any vehicles actually does quite well. There'll be a full video on this, but I figured we can chat about it and just chat about general stuff. Just because it's like... This is interesting. It's just nice to chat. Let's have just a chat. I like the chatting streams. I wish there was a data slate, but there isn't. These are now +1 to hit when attacking units on objectives when in hostile, and then +1 to hit when they're on objective. Yeah, so it's +1 to hit when you're attacking enemy units on objectives, and you get +1 to hit when you're on the objectives. Which, I mean, yeah, that's the way to get up to 3+, right? So it's 4+, but that's for a good reason. Otherwise, you'll be at 2s constantly, and that's crazy. Learn about what not to do with my Templars. Glad I didn't face those 20 Terminators, as 15 was rich enough for my blood. Yeah, like it's scary, very scary. It was a fact that like basically that second unit I think did Overwatch and killed a few JPIs, but apart from that, they didn't really have to do much. I mean, it was that just the one in the top corner just absolutely just shredded me, and I managed to get rid of them, but it took like it took so long. Is Drukhari book is amazing. You're finally going to paint your Drukhari? Yeah, I think I probably will. I'm kind of at the point now where I'm basically done with painting Screaming Ravens. I don't think there's anything new I'd want to add. I don't think there's anything I want to add apart from Aethan Shan, and I want to obviously take my time with that model. That's going to be like that's basically like a centerpiece model, right? Really cool. So it'll probably then be time to paint other things. And I want to be... I kind of want to not have to rush through paint because I have been kind of not annoyed with painting, but I've not really been enjoying it as much as I'd like. I've just kind of been like, I'm kind of doing the painting because I have to. You know what I mean? Kind of rushing it. I'd like to... I might try and get... Because there's a lot of my Drukhari army which is like half there. Like nearly there. Like maybe just slap a base on it and actually be fine. Yeah. I'm seeing the Invicta Warsuits. They're still there. I don't know if I will... Like, I might use them in the future. I think they have use. I think they're kind of cool. But my list at the moment doesn't need them. You know how you love Centurions in every sense? I think I'm like that with aggressors. Most aggressors. Yeah, I mean, yeah, because you can have 18 aggressors max, right? That's a good... I reckon that's... I reckon you can do stuff with that. I guess... Could you get more aggressors? I don't know if you can... Like, if you went Death Watch, because you can have aggressors in the kill team. Could you have all the aggressors you could have in the kill team and then another 18? I don't know.
I was most surprised Sunday gone to not get any DG/Tsun/we, though getting Aspect Host instead. I despise their trickery and transport shenanigans.
JP, thank you for the vibe. Yeah, you did pretty well, didn't you? You got 2-1. I think you were quite high up there. Yeah, I didn't get any Death Guard at least, but I did get 1,000 Suns. I didn't get any World Eaters. I did have to play against Brett, though. Aspect Host is a tricky one. But Fugan never gets back up against me. That's the main thing.
Will there be a full vid for this? Love your normal tournament reports. Will you try Horus Heresy game at any point?
Maybe the future Horus Heresy game. Like, I looked at the rules and they seem interesting. But there will be a full video for this, probably in a couple of weeks. To kind of go through it. I kind of talk about the list because I want to try and, like, the list that I've got is kind of cool. Everyone has to play Brett sooner or later. It's true. Brett is inevitable. I did okay. I did a lot better because I played against him before. You don't need to yell. I must have just missed the message because it's chat is quick. You'll have 683 Centurion lots to located. No, I will not. I'm sure you can find someone to play Kill Team with you. But yeah, I don't have time for Kill Team right now. No need to spam. I think I'm mad mad for loving Devastators, but how else am I supposed to get my heavy bolter fix? You know, Centurions can take heavy bolters. I played my Centurion recently. Lucius must be a magician because he makes 2 Norns disappear. Tactical. I have I don't think I'll ever play Brett. I'm pretty safe across the board. No, you don't understand. He is inevitable. Yeah, I've heard Lucius is very, very good. Yeah, there will be a full video for this. Let's say something else. Yeah, my new list. Is essentially... It has no vehicles. It has... I'm basically wondering what I take out for 8th and Charm, which is why I want the data state to, so I know what points is going on. Yeah, like, I've got Trike, Tommy Lieutenant, Jump Captain with... Loan Up Jump Captain with Hammer, with the enhancement. Blade Driven Deep on the Judicia 4, infiltrating 6 Blade Guard. A big 5 intercessors, a big block of 10 jump packs, 2 smaller blocks of 5 jump packs, all the the 18 Centurions, and then infiltrators. And the jump packs are really good. I think Shrike with them is cool as a ingress threat, but I've not been using it properly. And I actually don't think it's really necessary to include Shrike. It's an interesting one. It's very cool though. Just having Shrike in the list makes all the JPIs OC2, which is crazy. I can allow you down tactical forces. Yes, you can. So because it's either a Phobos unit or another infantry and their Phobos. So there is potential play there where you put the heavy flamers on and you just chuck them around. That is kind of cool. Just loading 40k with Death Guard. What do you think, like, the leverage against them, and what do you think feels important on winning games against them? I don't know too much about Death Guard. Death Guard at the moment are very scary. I'm sure there are going to be people that are, like, there's going to be information out there about how to play Death Guard properly, but yeah, they are just tough and deadly. And I haven't had a success against them yet. No, I think how's it going? Another current meta is monster tank heavy, but I just want a ungodly swarm of Krieg. I mean, that's still pretty good, right? Like, lots of Krieg. You got some special weapons in there. Get some basilisks. Thank you very much. Have you tried and looked into Trench Crusade? Not yet. That is something I want to do. I did it for Horus Heresy a little while ago, just kind of looking through the rules and see what it's about. It's something I want to do at some point, so I probably will. Because I've heard a lot about it. Death Guard being deadly, never heard of it. I know, it's crazy, right? Yeah, to be fair, I don't think I played into very many tanks at all. Like, there's a couple of monsters in each list, but not much. And to be fair, if I do, I've got a lot of ways to deal with them. That is one kind of guy with a big gun, tanking fire and dishing out many bullets. Like Ramon guy. But try and find an old Pedro Cantor kit bash at wait for one. Wait, see if he gets a new model. I mean, try and find an old one. If you can find an old one, otherwise kit bash one. You can probably kit bash a Pedro Cantor pretty quick. What are your thoughts on 3 Garrett and clean ones and a Morty in a list? Someone at one of the tournaments I played 3 Garrett and clean ones at Eroticus. And did really well. So it sounds heretical, but you know, it might work. Enjoying a hot take caught in your pile of shame vids? Oh hell yeah, thank you very much. I have a lot of those I need to edit in the background at some point. I have so many videos. Like I'm working on so many, and also the gaming channel. The gaming channel is being really sorry about small Paul there. The gaming channel is being really weird right now, where the latest Timberborn did quite well in terms of views, but didn't get very many impressions, and then all the other videos are getting tons of impressions with like 0.9 or like 1% click-through rate. And I'm like, why are you pushing that one, which is getting no clicks, and then not pushing the one that is clearly getting clicks? What is going on? Makes no sense. It's Bardian logic, as we're about to hear a little jingle for. There it is. Thank you for the sub and for following. Do you make a full chapter? The Scream Remnants? I probably won't be able to make a full chapter. I will make the supplement at some point. You haven't changed content, it's fun. Thank you. Yeah, it is a lot of fun to just be playing games and doing other things. Got Raven Guard Force, 3x5 jump packs, 5-man Vanguard Vet, 2x3 Eliminators, 3x5 Infiltrators, 2x5 Incursors, 3 Invictors, 5 Scouts, and the new guy Shrike. That's a very Raven Guard army. You should get some Centurions. I'm pretty sure I'm sub and haven't been even notified of new videos on the channel. Here's a question, because I know from the stats not many people actually get the videos through the subscription tab. How many people actually use the YouTube subscription tab? I think it's probably worth, like, if you're subscribed to stuff, it's probably worth using it more because of the way the algorithm has been really weird recently. What I've found. What's my gaming channel? It's Paul is bad at games. Basically, I'm kind of doing fairly heavily edited Let's Plays essentially. Load of videos and you are getting me more into Stubby. Nice. Have you tried Trench Crusade? I've not. No, I've not tried Trench Crusade. Does anyone in chat have Mandrake's kill team? I guess anyone in chat have Mandrake's kill team? When I start losing in 4K, my mood drops and I instantly stop enjoying the game. But what can I do to stay happy? I guess like, are you just like is it way you're losing, or is it just because like you don't like losing? Because it's one of those ones you kind of have to learn to be a good loser. Like me, I'm a very good loser. I'm just a massive loser. Generally, when I play, like, because I lose quite a lot, it's a case of, I've discussed this before, like, either, you know, make your own win condition, or just don't take it too seriously. And the main thing is don't take it too seriously. I think if you're going in there like, I want to win, I'm like really trying to win, then you're going to obviously be disappointed if you lose. So if you don't take it as seriously. Like, that's the thing. Better on mobile than another webpage. Yeah. Yeah, YouTube's been very weird. Haven't used subscription stuff in years. At least until recently, the view page was good enough. That's the thing, is from what I am hearing, is they've changed, like, algorithm things have changed, and people who are even if you're subscribed, you're just not getting the videos when they come out, which is crazy. I don't get it. Like, so if you are one of those people, I would start to just double check on the subscription tab. Obviously, if you have lots of subscriptions, that might be not great, but or you know, if you join the Discord, there is I post videos when I post them on when I post videos, I mention it in Discord. So you know. Oh, it's a new data slate. And now, obviously, want to see buffed or nerfed. I don't know if again, I'm not really like super on the meta. I'd like to see some. I think the main ones, I think, like Death Guard and the both Knights are a bit impressive. I've not played against them recently. I don't know. I just want to know what the points are going to be for the new Raven Guard attachment, mainly. Love watching your video about how awesome those chunky bars on games. Thank you very much. A lot of games get professionals have had fun just trying. But there's some games where someone is being sweaty. Yeah, I've not had that. Again, I've been very lucky with all of my opponents. Like, everyone I've played against has been great, from professionals to just everyone. Win or lose, it's always been fun. And yeah, it's just been cool. And it's one of those ones where I said it I've said it in videos before, and I've said it on a stream. 40k and games like this are cooperative. They're a cooperative game. You have to cooperate with your opponent. You know, I'm very liberal with take that. It's very liberal with, like, oh yeah, you can do that. Just because, you know, it's a lot easier to. It's a lot better when you do that. You get through the game easier, and it's great. Haven't seen my new Caves of Cud video. How could you? But that one's got like twice as many impressions as my previous Timberborn video, but half the views. So why, you know, the Timberborn video is a banger. I put actual jokes in it. Crazy. Other videos I really want to get to 4K, but I don't really know how. It seems very complicated. Also, I also love chaos. I say it again. I said it in the Q&A video. I have an idea for a video which is like learn to play the game with me. Yeah. What changes to what's Hope 11th edition? I said it. I've answered this Q&A, but mostly just tidying stuff up, cleaning a bit of getting stuff a bit neat, and make it base to base for line of sight. Otherwise, I'm fairly happy with 10, to be honest. There'll be more about that, I think, but more kind of like opinion-y stuff tomorrow's video. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow's video, and I hope you are as well. It's a long one. It's a long video. It's a fairly casual video, I suppose. It's an interesting one. Think about Magcase 2.0, do the trays come with a magnetic plate? The trays are metal, so they are magnetic by default. You've been painting Mr. Why have you been painting me? No, not me. Get the paint off me. I've only ever not enjoyed 2 games 40k and the players identified as comp players before anything. Not to say that alone is bad. But the others that go to events ready never say that first. Oh, I guess it was. They just said, like, before it even hello, so I'm a comp player. The thing is, here's the thing. It's a very common thing, right? If you have to say you're a competitive player, you're not a competitive player. That's the thing. If you go in there and say, I'm a competitive player, you're not a competitive player. You are... No. If you're there, so I like playing, balanced and fairly standard games just because it kind of standardizing things makes things easy to play a game. And I like playing games in a competitive way where I, am trying to think and trying to make the best list I can. But I'm not going to do that at the expense of, my opponent's fun, my fun. Because what's the point, right? What's the point? My case actually does come with magnets, yes. The first tournament in Portsmouth next month, and you're actually playing Insolent Slaughter. No, next month is busy for me, unfortunately. Yeah, because I think someone mentioned there was a tournament in... it was Portsmouth this or next week, which I'm also not going to be there for, unfortunately. The first one literally listed right in front of me. That's not how... No. No, that's not how that works. Unfortunately not. This is the thing, like... when I play against Steve, I know I'm playing against Knights. But I just take the list I'm going to take to various tournaments because, you know, I might play against Knights. List entering in front of you, that's just like... yeah, what's the point? That's the kind of person where you're just like, well, you know, are you just playing to win, or you not care? You know, I don't know. You're just like bad. The strong was shipped in the wrong direction. Yeah, so you know, the magnets are very strong. Maybe it's just, your area is just not metal enough. Not all metal is magnetic. Take calcium, for example. Well, I'm pretty sure the Magcase 2.0 trays are not made of calcium, or like, you know, cesium or something. They are made of a magnetic metal of some description. I'm not sure which one. Probably like titanium or something. I don't know. Ollie didn't show up much at local club after a few games. Everything of a social hobby kind of weeds out the people naturally. That is the thing, because eventually people will just get fed up and not want to play with them, and then they will run out of people to play with. Like, they'll burn the bridges. And that's the thing, right? Like, my local tournament scene, right? If I was being a twat, there's two problems with that. One, like, people would probably, you know, tell other people in the comments that I'm a twat, and people won't watch more videos anymore. And even if they don't, two, people wouldn't want to play with me anymore. I probably wouldn't be allowed, you know, I'd probably be either, you know, banned or, you know, yellow carded or asked not to return to these tournaments, and then I'd be out of content. So, and also three, not fun. They say they're going to towards. That's the thing. Like, there's a difference. There is a difference between a tournament player and a competitive player, because a tournament player doesn't have to be competitive. You can go to a tournament just to be able to play games. And other tournament players, whether they are competitive, whether they are, you know, good players or not good players, whether they are, you know, going for 5-0, whether they're just going there to have fun, those players who go to tournaments are going to do. There is an expectation of it. It is a social event. It's not just a game. It's a social event. Yeah, exactly. Tournaments are events first. That's the thing. Like, you're meeting new people. There's a lot of, you know, shared stuff. It might even be with a convention, so there's lots of stuff going around. And yeah, so a competitive player, if you're just playing like a one-on-one, like just a pick-me-up game, and they go in with a competitive mindset, like, what's the point? Because it doesn't mean anything apart from their ego, which is dull. Versus the randos who comment during your games and give tips. Like, I was going to do that anyway. I've never had that. But normally at tournaments, it's like, you know, it's not like it may even be a written rule, but it's probably an unwritten rule. It's definitely unwritten, but it may in fact be written. I should say that way around. You don't like interrupt or like try and add things to games like that, especially at tournaments. No, that's that. You're allowed to watch for sure. Like, just don't get in the way. Again, if anyone does see me at the LGT, and I'm in a game, I'm happy for you to come up and say, just say hello. Obviously, we're on a time limit, so between games is the best, because I think there is always time for breaks. Lunchtime is very good before and after the event. All of that, absolutely fine. Guess it's just be cool rule number one, yeah. Yeah, don't be a dick. Simple. People that retell rules too are annoying. In what way? As in, like, people who are like hovering over and commenting the rules from outside the game? Because, like, there's also the badgering thing, right? Which is where you're asking again and again and again and again and again for like the same rule over and over. That's the one. Z Herman.
Look at the size of that thing.
Look at the size of that thing.
Good evening, brother.
Thank you very much.
One Space Marine a Blood Raven. He got lost and of course he won't stake anything. Have a good stream.
I did make one Space Marine a Blood Raven. Thank you very much for the super... Very generous super chat. God damn. Thank you very much. Just John, we're talking about just 40k. There's also a really nasty guy who used to cheat and steal people's models. He later got banned from the LGS for yelling at a kid and grabbing him at a Pokemon tour. Well, yeah, I mean, that's just insane. That's the thing with that. That's just a crazy person. And again, you know, if it was that's not a Warhammer player. That's just a man. That's just a man or a guy, I assume man. Just a person being insane, right? That's just an insane person, and you're gonna get that everywhere. That's the thing. Anyone who is kind of that sweat lord that we're talking about for 40k isn't a sweat lord just for 40k. They're the person in League of Legends or in whatever game you play online. They're the person on your team that's whining constantly, that's yelling in chat, that's, you know, blaming everyone else for the fact that even though he was the one who really should have probably seen the jungler coming. How do you do something like the most? I think Drukhari. What's my next tournament? The London GT, which seems to be quite popular. I think it's 1,000 people. It's a lot. Yeah, I think I do want to try and win. You know, going 5-0 would be great. I do want to do better than 1-4. I would like to try and get a 3-2 again. But anything on that is great. Make it a practice, quickly pop in before again to chat before I leave again. Or briefly return to check up on them before leaving again. That's how you do it without getting away. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, I'm happy for people to, you know, want to come and watch. You know, I've done that with your friends of mine where I've gone, I was like, oh, you know, my game's finished. I'll go see how their game's going. You know, just watch and see what's happening, but don't interrupt. That's the main thing. Should you watch me or practice exams? Do both. What exams are you practicing for? Should I pizzazz up my Crimson Fist bases, i.e. Cork and Sand on every base? Every base. I generally don't pizzazz up the bases just because it takes time, but you can do GCSEs. I mean, when did I do my GCSEs? What, it was, gonna date me now. 18 years ago? Maybe 18 years ago I did my GCSEs? Where it was letters, because it's numbers now for the scoring for GCSEs. Been that way for a while. You should probably, I mean, GCSEs are kind of important. How's your Necron video? I actually did legitimately. I forgot to put in the video. I bought a Gloctopus before finishing that video. I haven't built it yet, but I did buy a Gloctopus. Do you think the Ghost Arc Doomsday Camera Mini needs updating? Is it has a severe case of sub-assembly? I don't think it needs update. It seems cool. It's a cool model. Yeah, it seems like an absolute pain to paint. But again, Sims go to the last minute, he can check the rules while we play. I guess it depends, right? Like, although bear in mind, actually, if the game's going to last minute and you are there checking the rules, getting outside help is, I guess, you know, in a tournament, maybe a bit iffy. I have had games go down to, like, the last minute. Which has been very fun when it's been that close. Sometimes you just have to start, like, talking it through and not really representing fully on the board. Like, sometimes you'll talk through it and say, oh yeah, I'd move here, we'll roll the dice to try and, like, work out what goes on there. Like, if you roll, you know, we'll say roll the dice just to see if you would kill it. Okay, you didn't kill it, but now I'm around here. I think I did that with my first game, where he was like, oh, I want to charge here. So, oh yeah, I said before, like, I said I'd move my guys there because it's like 10 jump access, I couldn't be bothered to move them all. So I just said they're around here. And then now that it actually matters, yeah, I will put them in. I will say, you know, I'll say they're around here. I'm not going to try and then at that point nickel and dime. Like, oh, where could I move this? Like, no, I said they'd be around here. I wasn't careful with it, so they're around here. Your charge is 4 inches. Like, I didn't see that plan. That was a good play. If I had seen it and I wanted to be more careful, I would have moved over here, but I didn't see that, and you've got me. So, yeah. This was the little entertainment you gave me. Just got to practice on TTS for my next 2-day tournament on Saturday. Nice. All right, good luck with it. I've never practiced for tournaments on TTS. I play TTS. Not much. When was it you go overtime? Really depends on the tournament. So the ones I play, the round ends, and you have essentially 15 minutes after the round ends, quote unquote, to get your score in. And the person who runs it basically says, Mark basically says, I don't care what you do with those 15 minutes, whether that is, you can roll the dice, you can move around. If your scores are not in BCP after that 15 minutes, you both get 0. Straight up. With other places, it is literally like, if you haven't got your score in at that time, you get 0 points, both of you. So, yeah. Generally, it's not too bad, because there's usually the round ends, and then there's like a 15-minute period of like, get your score in now, please. And you'll be like chased up so they can do the next pairing. You just gotta kind of roll with it, right? Like, I've been in the position where I've kind of been the one slow playing. I'm like, sorry, that was me slow playing. I've been very then favorable when we talk out the rest of the turn just to try and like make up for it, if you see what I mean. Well, tournament's like a bracket or something else. They are a is it Swiss pairing essentially? Like, first game, all the people who won and will play another person who won, and all the people who lost will play another person who lost. And then you're kind of then paired up with you pair up with people who are the same result, or close enough to. Listen to my Chaos Knight friend run. Yeah, generally just like 3 big knights and then a bunch of little ones. 3 from top and 5 small. Oh, 2 resubscriptions and a hype train.
Considering trying Borderlands 4 on the gaming channel.
Potentially, I never played Borderlands 3, and I do like Borderlands. So I might give it a go. I might do it on stream. Borderlands on stream would be fun. Or the Emperor. Can you do? Because I know when we did Space Marine 2 on stream, I will say the other problem I will have with that is my computer might not be able to run it. Happy affiliate anniversary? My affiliate anniversary? Oh, happy affiliate anniversary to me. What a day to choose for it. When is LGT? It is the end of September. It is the 27th and 28th of September. What does my current Raven Guard list look like? Strike. Jump back captain with Ghostly Cloak. So lone op. Jujitsu with Blader and Deep with 6 Blade Guard. Combi Lieutenant. 5 Intercessors. A big 10 mana jump packs. 2 small 5 mans. 18 Centurions. And Infiltrators. They off dealing with water heater and gutters. Oof. My plastics memo, so here I am. That's very unfortunate. It was annoying me that, finally get around to building some Warhammer, and it will, painting something and something's missing. You're like, If Centurions got added to Chaos, which faction of Chaos would you choose? Thousands of Suns Centurions would go hard. But I guess Obliterators are already a thing, right? Do you think will happen in Centurions 11th? Do you think they get Legends or an update bundle? I think neither. I reckon they will just continue as is. Have you considered using Incursors? Yes, I actually used Incursors a lot. This is like the first list in a while that actually has Infiltrators. And mostly just because I have the points for it. Incursors are good if you can get them forward to get the +1 to hit. But I found... I found more that just having that safety of the Infiltrators is really nice. How effective with the jump pack Intercessors? Whenever I look at them, they don't pop out. Is that impressive outside the easy time getting into charge? When you have Shrike in the list, they're OC2, which is insane. They are basically my... When I play well, they are my point scorers. The big 10 blob with Shrike basically means you can put them 12.1 inches away from rapid ingress, and then yeet them at something, and then get a massive mortal wound bomb. And then... yeah. They're very, very cool. I don't think I've really been targeting them at the right things. I think I'm still using them wrong. A lot of the time, I kind of use them as a just annoying thing to chew through. I can just chuck them on an objective. And that's like, okay, that's OC21 to chew through as I dance around with other things. I don't know. I just imagine Paul has a bunch of post-notes on the mods like people do for their password. They scream reminiscent on them. It's in my head. Here's the thing with my list. Because half of it is Centurions, I only have to remember half a list. Which is way easier. Any weird or funny armors during the event? I don't think I did, actually. I guess the Thousand Suns list had 20 Scarabacles, which I guess is quite a lot. Could have been 30. 30 seems a bit... 30 would have been funny. 20 seems, you know, reasonable. No, I don't think I saw anything crazy. I'm sure there probably was something there. I just didn't see it. Is it a Land Raider for list? I did. I went with Repulsors because they were cheaper. A Land Raider is very good because obviously the Assault Ramp. But the problem is, if I want a Land Raider, I'd want the Redeemer. And they're like way more points. They're like 285. Which is crazy. Why are so many Warhammer players bald with beards? That's the secret. The more you paint and play Warhammer, the bolder you get. No, I think it's just a... No. It's just a look. It's a good look. If you are balding, you might as well just go full bald and then grow a beard. If you can't grow a beard, well, that's unfortunate. What do you think is the most common game mechanic rule that most players sleep on? It's definitely something I sleep on. Stuff like grenades, I always sleep on. Like getting mortal wounds through like that, I definitely sleep on that. That could be me rather than, you know. So that is probably more me than a lot of players. Would you run infiltrators with a Phobos librarian? I don't think so. I think that's too many points, I think, for what it does. I mean, I think you could do it if I use those for a different reason. I think I would. Then the other thing is fights first is extremely scary. Fights first, and that's something to be careful of. But yeah, I don't know. Your favorite section of dice? Yeah, I think my tabletop tax dice are really cool. Everyone in Phobos, because of Phobos Lieutenants gets shoot and shoot. Yes, I have. I have done that before. To good effect. That is a good combo. But again, it's one of those ones where at the moment it doesn't fit into my list. How did the tournament title go? I won 1 and lost 2, but the 2 losses were a lot better. I think I scored 69 and 72 in my losses. But my win, I won quite nicely. It was quite a nice win. Alright, 2, maybe 3 stat lines, maybe 4 to 5 offensive profiles, and you're done. Yeah, Knights are a nice, easy army to play. Very few Necron units have grenades. I think grenades are definitely something that a lot of armies just don't have. But Necrons have a lot of cool stuff. You play 1,000 point list? If so, what is the field size? You play so 1,000 points at the moment. I played on the same size as 2,000. I haven't played that much 1,000 points. Ready to get news of local tournaments? I think best coast pairing. You can search for local tournaments. It's not the best app in the world. It's not the best website. It's can be a bit janky, but it finds the stuff nearby. Everyone hates is bad for your health because they explode. It's true, unless if you haven't pulled the pin. I mean, even so, they're quite hard. Bay Garbage is just such an oppressive combo against CSM. It is, yeah. Especially when they go infiltrate in and your opponent goes, oh, I've got 10 chosen with bile that I'm going to throw at them, and even if they fights first, I could probably take them out, which probably would be true if you then lose half of those chosen to Overwatch. I was saying, like, yeah, grenades can like kill big things. It's something that is talked about in tomorrow's video. My chosen still reading from the Overwatch. Yeah, that Overwatch was nasty, but also you deserved it for dishonoring the Mortal Kombat between Jump Pack Intercessors and Nurglings. Distracting the ref and bringing in some cultists with a steel chair. Nah, that's gonna have to get solved at the pay-per-view. I'm sorry about that. If we ever get paired into a tournament again, what we'll do is we will disregard our lists. I will put 5 jump pack intercessors on one side. You could put 3 Nurglings on the other. And whoever wins, wins. Assault Terminator, Screaming Ravens. If they get a new kit, yeah, because if you get Lightning Claws, oh yeah. Kind of weird that grenades are a stratagem UCP. Like, you'd think there would be a weapon profile. Yeah, but I like that. I like that as a stratagem. I'm down, hell yeah. That's what we'll do next time. It'll be really weird. We'll put it, like, what do you mean your game lasted 5 minutes? It's like, well, we had a gentleman's agreement. My favorite thing I've done is killed a knight with a Cabalite warrior. Because it was in the group, it was in the there was like 1 wound left on it, so I charged the team in. It was lethal hits because there was the court in there, and I just managed to and I think he charged me, so I had like 1 Cabalite left, and then the court couldn't quite get him down, so the Cabalite had to do like 1 poke to take the last wound down, and then the knight exploded and killed the whole squad. Or most of, not the whole squad, a fair amount of squad. A Fae 40k inspiration was 1 scout squad killing a demon prince with snipers. I lost the game massively. That is very unfortunate. Do you think that will make some new miniatures for the new Dawn of War game? Maybe, I suppose. Remember, didn't exist. What chapter of Space Marines would you use? I guess I'd just be regular Raven. Scream Ravens is my own thing, right? So I'll probably just be regular Raven Guard. Grenade launcher is just a deeply mid weapon. Well, that's the thing, right? So grenade launcher is just it launches a grenade, but you know, if you got a good arm, you can properly lob a grenade. Just imagine it's like the sticker grenades from Halo. I think there were Votan there. I didn't play against them. But they seem pretty good. I lifted a report of Doomsday Arc. Doomsday Arcs are nasty. It's because they're 4 damage. That's just rude. Those 500-point tournaments that have been really fun. Yeah, I kind of... There's someone who, the same place, does Speed Hammer, like 500-point games. Problem is, every time that he does one of those events, I'm not there. I'd love to do a 500-point game where it is just all Centurions. Because what you could do... have to do 330. You couldn't then go to like 480. You'd have to go 300 plus 165. That's still too many. You couldn't actually do that many Centurions is the problem. It'd have to be only 6, I think, because otherwise you can't get a character in there. I don't know. Work it out. Crow of Favor. The Crow of Favor has favored me.
I am in the process of building 36 Centurions to run in my local Crusade League.
Hell yeah. Now that'll be interesting in Crusade because you can get some real nasty stuff with it. Thank you very much for the super chat. I would I would be interested in hearing how that goes. Yeah, -1 damage is very rude. -1 damage, -1 to wound. Anything that gives you that kind of stuff is scary. I'm an agent's player. I'm real. I don't believe you. Dr. Random, if that is your real name. 10 Lehman Russ. Those characters are on a 40 mil base now. I think Ethan Shard's on a 50 mil base, isn't he? Good boy. I like it with the Scream Ravens. There's a few videos on this, but mostly it's just Stealth Centurion funny. Infiltrating Centurion funny. Why would that be? Make them loud. Yeah, I will make a model of my Centurion Judge Master. I have the parts for it, or at least some of the parts. Because I need to do, essentially, I need to do like 3 models, because I want to do one. I need to do the Centurion version, the Jump Pack version, and then I want to do a diorama. But that's a long way away. That's time I need. Question, my friend, we use this homebrew rule where if a weapon has blast damage, the damage will spill over. Do you think that would be a valid rule? Without it, Volcano Cannon kills 6 dudes top. That is kind of the point, right? So blast being increased number of shots. Put it this way, if you fire a las cannon, which is kind of like a beam of light, it's not going to splash onto, well, I guess that's not a blast weapon, right? It's mostly a case of like blast gets its extra hits by having lots of people in the unit. Don't fire volcano cannons at dudes. Fire the volcano cannons at the things they're meant to target. It's there for a reason, I think. Because you could get really nasty with it. With damage spillover, you got to be very careful with. Very, very careful with. Because you can get real nasty with it. I think about a Redemptor plasma cannon. You know, that's got blast on it. You're doing 10 shots. The reason the blast rule is there is to help that. But you also just have to be careful that you're not going to suddenly super overshoot stuff, right? So from Soonish, what's my favorite model? Blade Guard are really cool. And the Storm Raven. What unit gave you the most trouble throughout the 3 games? Oh, the Scarabotol Terminators. They were horrible. Actually, Cesarian Ruststalkers did a decent amount of being very annoying. I'll actually get rid of them, but yeah, they got in my face. Two people got 600, one person got 1200. I mean, that's a fairly standard thing, right? Like, people do 2000 versus 2 1000s. It's a good way to teach people how to play the game, I think. I think it'll be fun to do. It'd be fun to do a weird one where it's like that. So it's like 2v2, 1,000 points each. But I'll tell you what would be an interesting one. It's a 2v2 tournament with 1,000 points each, but you don't go with a partner. You go on your own, and so you have to pair with someone. So 4 people get paired together. You have to try and work out how to play together. That might just be insane and might actually go very wrong. Because you know how T games are, so maybe not. Blast weapons should be allowed to be fired at engaged targets, but the threat obviously auto hits yourself. But the problem with that is then it's basically just taking mortal wounds. Like imagine if I could fire, you could fire the blast weapons from a Rogal Dawn or something. Like the Rogal Dawn isn't going to care. Flash rule that causes splash damage on crit wound. You're gonna have last kind of hit as collateral. That's a 9th edition Votan rule, isn't it? I think it wasn't called Dev Wound, but the Dev Wounds on the rail cannon had a splash over damage, which is mad. A friend of mine has a habit of giving me a 1500 point list the night before we play. I show up and he says I did some tinkering and have a surprise. And it'll be a reconstructed list that will have something like a tank or new dreadnought. So I tend to buy Titan for Christmas. That sounds kind of cheap. Well, you should. I mean, realistically, right? Don't tell him what's in your list. Or if he's telling you what's in your list and you're trying to tailor for him, don't do that either. Currently 3 AM on the other side of the world. So you're live. Oh well, you should go to sleep. I'm doing alright, thank you. Thank you for the happy affiliate thing. Apparently it's my affiliate anniversary. I've been an affiliate on Twitch for a year, which seems wild. How do you find the larger events you go to? Best Coast pairing. And I think Google works quite well. Some weapons really become bad because of the lack of damage spillover. It's one of, yeah, I guess the thing is like it really depends on what you're playing into. So for example, the missiles on Devastator's turrets are insane into big 20-man blobs, but aren't great into if I have to fire them at tanks. But, you know, that's kind of part and parcel, right? Like, sometimes a weapon can be bad in certain situations. I'd only do it as a one-off. Me and my friend only found out weapons don't have spillover damage. Now, here's the thing. In Age of Sigmar, they do. Age of Sigmar does have spillover damage. If you're an Age of Sigmar, if you're an Age of Sigmar player, that's the difference. But Age of Sigmar is obviously very different because they don't have like lots and lots of attacks sometimes. What's the highest amount of dice you've ever seen someone roll? 50, I think, is the max. How nerve-wracking was my first tournament? My very first tournament was at Tabletop Attack Space. It was kind of nerve-wracking. I was a bit nervous at the first game because I'd never done anything like that. But once I got through it, it was fine. The reason I did the first one there was because I wanted to do... I wanted to go to Tabletop Attack Place and I wanted to try a tournament, and it seemed like a place like Tabletop Attack is quite good because it's definitely more casual. Yeah, you got the 50 attacks for the possessed. Yeah, that's the thing. Like getting up. I think 50 is the max I've seen. When I played the South Coast Super Major the first time, that wasn't actually too bad there, because at that point I kind of was just there. I was just gonna be silly and chill. That's the thing. I think like once you've got used to the timing, then it's all right. You recommend playing passively as Vanguard Spearhead or playing really aggressively? What I recommend versus what is actually good is probably two different things. I play fairly aggressively-ish sometimes. I basically always, if I should play aggressively, I play passively. If I should play passively, I play aggressively. So whatever I do, don't do that. But it should be banned to unintended targets. You can have that with spillover, but a lot of profiles will need to be reworked. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. I think the blast keyword does the thing it needs to do. I rolled 80, which 6 hit and did 1 down, 1 did damage. That is very unfortunate. That is disgustingly unfortunate, man. Unless you were hitting on, like, 6s, in which case that's not too bad. If it was Overwatch, that's okay. What's my favourite part of the hobby? Probably playing the game. The game is my favourite part. Yeah, London GT, I'm really hoping to get some stuff in. How many Centurions is too many? I'm trying to make an army of them. If you're trying to make an army of just Centurions, you can have 36. Here's your attack phase. Oof. 18 seems to be quite a good... I feel like 18 is a good place. I don't feel like I would get much benefit for losing any Centurions at this point. And I also think if I add any Centurions, that's also going to be a detriment. Like, what does 150 points get me if I remove, say, some of the Assault Centurions? Not much. What do I have to lose to get 150 points? Quite a lot. The artillery team siege cannon becomes bad at anti-tank and worse at anti-infantry. What is the artillery team siege cannon? Look. That's not the right army. Artillery team siege cannon. So it's D6 blast heavy indirect. Strength 12 -2 3 damage. You know what that's for? That's anti-elite. That is for firing at, Custodes, Terminators. That shreds Terminators at just insta-gives them. 3 damage, -2. That's not a thing I think you really fire at a tank. Also because you're hitting on 5s anyway with indirect. And that's the thing with Blast, like, 3 damage, you're not firing that at things with 1 health. I mean, the one above it, the multiple rocket launchers, D6 +3, anti-infantry. You fire that at a big squad of 20, and then you're talking. Like the yeah, that siege cannon. I don't think you want to be firing that at tanks. That's a that's anti-elite. What's that good into? Let's think about it. It's good. It's very good into Gravis. because it's wounding on 2s and 3 damage, -2. So you take him down to 5 ups. That's anti-gravis, basically. You had to pick one type of Centurion, which would be Devastator to bring. Devastators are better at the moment, especially the way I play at the moment. Admech is really hard to play against as Vanguard Spearheads, especially have big Catphron squads. The big Catphron squads are scary. You can delete them with Centurions, but they are scary. What's your opinion on kit bash models that don't look very much like what they represent? It depends how badly. Because I've seen stuff where, like, there's a demon army someone made. Okay, Chaos Demons. They're like it's like geometric demons. Like, they're really, like, otherworldly, which is cool as hell, right? Obviously, it looks nothing like what they're meant to, but it's such a cool idea that I would be fine with it. But if it's like, oh, this is a Rogel Dawn that looks like a dude, then obviously that's very silly. What would you have to do if you had to fight against the exact copy of your army? If I ever play a mirror matchup, like a proper 18th century mirror matchup, that'd be crazy. If I go for bare heads on the Raven Guard, do I have to use the emo looking ones? Yeah, I have to. You can do what you want. I guess if you go in like proper, you know, fluffy Raven Guard, I guess yes, but... Big ups to Saturnine terms and Dreadnoughts to sort of... Oh yeah, actually, that's a good point. I said, oh, I'm almost done with my Dream Ravens. I do have the Saturnine stuff to do. But that's kind of for fun kit bashes, so I may sort them out soon. I'll do them... Maybe after the south, I keep calling it the South Coast. After the London GT, maybe. However, give me a moment. Speaking of, oh yeah, speaking of Raven Guard. I need to head off for now. I actually have to render tomorrow's video. It's going to take ages, so I need to get that sorted. I will send you over to the Liam Dempsey people, as always. And if you're on Twitch, I don't know, if you don't want to watch, I go watch Dog Dog, who's doing the Rosa charity stream, which is always cool. I won't raid you, you can just go do it. Yeah, a Raven Guard game, so I'm going to go watch that. But thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you all next time.